And just like that, we are back here with the Saturday Shade. My name is Nene Kabutey, and as always, every Saturday morning, we give you some shady stuff to talk about. But today's one is going to be quite interesting because a lot of y'all don't know this, but some of us are very educated. Just so you know, I have 5 degrees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? 5 degrees, 7 certifications, and some more. But it's going to be interesting to talk about how the Ghanaian education versus the foreign education has actually shaped some people. But to do that, obviously, I need some people to help me out. I have some. I think this is going to be a 2.0 of the Queen's episode, okay? So I have Ingel in the house. What up, Ingel?
Hi.
Hey, I'm excited to have you on this episode, though.
Thank you for having me.
Looking pretty in pink.
Thank you.
Hey, Alex, how are you?
Hi, I'm good.
You ready for this?
Yes.
I know it's going to be something else, but I'm here for it. Hello, Teley.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good.
Awesome. So, all of you ladies, this is your first time on the Saturday Shade, especially on the Ghana edition. So, my question today is Ghanaian education versus foreign education. More of, let's say, from the high school to like the tertiary side of it. What do you think can be improved, or what do you think, what's the word, has improved us, especially both of us since we went to school outside as well? What do you think, we can improve about what we have here? That one sets the tone.
So I feel education in Ghana helps a bit because we are asked to study things that we maybe not take further.
Okay.
Yeah, we won't take this further. Maybe IT, religious and moral education. When it comes
RME.
to RME, I'm not going to become a priest or a priestess.
I'm a big fan.
What am I studying? So I feel like they make us study in every endeavor. That way, when you go out there, it helps you fit into every aspect. Yes.
I like that, and I think I could be wrong. I don't remember how many subjects I actually wrote for BC because I think
10.
it was 10.
10.
2005.
10.
I think we're writing 13 at
10.
some point. 10. Okay, maybe they took some out because I remember
Okay, let's just agree to 10.
yeah, let's just agree to 10. But even 10, I don't use none of them. I don't really use them, but I would say some of the things you actually learned back in school has actually helped me. Right.
Yeah,
The only thing is, those who know me know I don't like math unless I'm spending money, right? Because 2 times x for x, I'm like, what is all this gibberish? And I actually remember I told someone in the US, like I think recently, that we didn't really use calculators in school. Once like further down, they're like, wait, what? I'm like, even with that, I mean, I could actually get a C or a B or a D somewhere, but still, it was like
Mental.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I still can't get math. I still can love math to this day.
I mean, the way they teach us in Ghana is a bit traumatizing, but
that's the word, traumatizing.
but
Okay.
I would say that I think if you asked me this question 3 years ago, I'd have a lot of very negative things to say about our educational system because there's something that convinces us who are locally trained that the system is backward. But I think that if you give the Ghana educational system a chance, there's actually a lot of good things
Improved
about
things.
it.
Okay.
And then I think the thing that is lacking in our educational system is that a lot of the ways that we're being taught and the things that are being taught don't seem to be like going somewhere. So what's the objective?
So like going to like a dead end. It's like just going. Okay.
Because when you listen, I follow the Princess of Wales, who is very passionate about the early years, and education is a big part of her campaign. And then you see countries like Ireland, you see countries like the UK, who you can understand that they're really looking into the science of what they're studying and how it meets their needs. And I feel that the research is really lacking here in Ghana to understand, okay, where we've gotten to our development, what do we need for our human resource to have to make this country better. I think that context is definitely missing. And so how we're teaching it, what we're actually teaching, when you think about what does Ghana need, are we really meeting those needs in terms of our human resource? So I think that that's what is lacking. But in terms of like, it's setting the tone so that if we go anywhere, we'll be able to pick up and move. I think it definitely gives you that shooting platform.
That is a fact. Yeah.
That because I know people who are really horrible here in Ghana. They went to school in the States and they were acing, and there was somebody here who couldn't get science even in Holy Child. She gets to the States and now she's a pharmacist. So I think that there's a lot of potential here, but we definitely need a lot more research investment, which is non-partisan, because I think that's also one thing that's killing our educational system. and really look at, okay, what are we focusing on and why are we focusing on those things? I think our educational system is missing that context. And I think once we're able to
put all those pieces together,
it would be
very. Have you thought about being like a guidance counselor in the school?
I've considered it before.
I think you'd be good at it because honestly, what you said is very true, and I would say a lot of people actually know as well. Back here, I mean, school were like okay, but they leave and it's like, oh, they're doing amazing. What people don't realize is out there we have like resources, right? That's what makes it easier for you to study and stay on top of it. I can tell you, I wasn't the brightest in my class. I remember like in GSS, they put me in this class. They said it was G. It was G. Like we had like
stuff from the smartest to the dumbest.
Yeah, so it was. I went to Achimota Basic School, so it was like it was a lot of us in the school. So like from like for example like GSS 3, we had like A all the way through H, and they put me in. I was actually in C, but they put me in G because they said we were not the brightest. So they put us in one class. And let me tell you this today. All the people who are in G are actually thriving more than those who are in the the B and H. Guess what? I mean, it's not working for them, And I think sometimes, in Ghana, I think they focus so much on the people they think are very smart. As a teacher, if the person is smart, they don't need much more attention. You have to focus on the person you think is not smart. So I'm like, if you put us in this G class, by the way, shout out to Jesus, my homie, because guess what? I got 5 degrees now. How about those in the B and H? Some people could not even afford to go into like a tertiary institution, right? So it's
yeah, but Kabutey, it's a lot of factors.
It is.
People are late bloomers, one, and our teachers are also, through no fault of theirs, are also ill-equipped to really manage. I mean, I recently discovered that there are people who are neurotypical brains, and there are people who are neurodivergent brains. So if you have somebody who's ADHD, you have dyslexia, you have all of those things. This environment, this educational system is not going to help you.
I
because
like
of the
that you
way
said
shouldn't be so.
ADHD because in America, once they put you on medication and stuff like that. I actually grew up as ADHD, but guess what? I'm fine. And I think people like that when it comes to Ghana, I think that's one thing we do well is people are very talented, right? As a kid growing up, you have like so much energy. If you're like, hey, you come to us like do. I don't think it's advisable for us to do that because like the person has so much energy. We just have to find out where to place them. But in the US, they'll put you on medication, which sometimes is like.
Yeah, but you see, in America, there's an understanding, even though it's very limited. There's an understanding and there's some kind of provision that is made to accommodate people who have these. I won't even call it a disadvantage, but who have these conditions.
Yeah.
But here in Ghana, first of all, there's no. When I wanted to test for myself, because I also noticed that I started realizing my symptoms quite late. I think in level 300, I struggled to find like a center to go and get tested and be evaluated and then be diagnosed. Yeah, but we don't have those things that are readily available. Our schools don't even have that system in place to guide children who are neurodivergent. And some neurodivergent kids who, I will use ADHD because that's what I've done my research on, are also brilliant in school. And then they get to a point where it slopes down and then it picks up again.
Yeah.
It's a roller coaster for them. So we have all of these gaps in our educational system that we are not talking about. So it makes it very, very difficult. And then you come and talk about special needs kids. And up until very recently, we still have about 3 or 4 schools in Accra that are catering to children who are special needs. I have a sister who is Down syndrome, so I can relate to some of those things. So when you look at all of these gaps, you do realize that there's a lot of work that needs to be done. But the educational system in Ghana has been so politicized that these conversations are not coming up and these solutions are not coming through. And the people are paying a high price for it. You're talking about brain drain and people leaving Ghana and going elsewhere. But these are some of the reasons, So we need to stop the political conversations around education, and that's where the free SHS is really going to bang on, because it was a political campaign to come into power. And even though in the long term it's not going to solve a lot of the problems that we have, because infrastructure too is a problem. At the end of the day, he made a campaign promise. He needs to deliver on it at the expense of our human resource and the development of our country.
Taxpayers' money.
That needs to stop. That really, really needs to stop. And until we remove education from politics, we are not going to see the full potential of what this educational system can do for us. And I think that that's what we really need to start campaigning against. it needs to stop because we are not having the conversations that we need to have because it's too partisan.
I like it. Ingel, I was going to say, you went to like an international school. So I think maybe you guys have much more. Because I went to a public school. Even though we feel like we're the ish. But I mean, I went to public school, which had the name and the status and everything. You went to a private school that was like, you know, you guys are paying money. So it's like they had to deliver for you guys. So how was like, you know, how was that for like you?
I don't know how to compare that to other schools.
Okay, but we want to know,
I think it was good for me. I only focused on what I wanted to study. I didn't want to do art math or elective math, so I rather do art. The courses I had to study to go to uni were like just 5 or 6. I didn't have to do
5 or 6.
10.
Alex, how many do you write in?
Why
8. You did 5 or 6.
think, yeah.
We're battling 8.
I think O levels was like 5 or 6, and then A
Oh,
levels.
you guys are
Yeah.
using that's okay.
Yeah, and A levels is like just three subjects depending on what you do.
Wow.
We were suffering.
So
And you have to learn in such a short amount of time.
Yeah. But I mean, they give you resources, so it's like
Sure.
you are studying. So, for example, not to cut you off. You know how when you go to high school, right? Or let's say JS is like, no, JS, whatever you study from JS 1 all to JS 3, it's pretty much like the same. Most books are the same until you're fine, you write the beats, whatever, and you're good to go. In America, right? Every class you go, it's a different
thing.
book, and it's like, and you know, at the end of the day, you only write what you study, and that's it. Unlike what we had.
Yeah, there's some weird
Revision.
continuity.
Yeah. Akiola didn't spend my parents' money way too many times.
I did a little bit of primary in a private school that wasn't international.
Okay, so it was
I
like the
did
basic
so I did do social studies.
R&E, vocational skills.
Yeah, it was a
PE.
lot of it was a lot of classes.
I remember
think
because I was traumatized.
9 or 10 subjects. So I left in grade. Sorry, I left in class 6.
Yeah, grade 6. Yeah.
Yeah, I left in grade 6, and the transition from just my first year, I really just ended up choosing subjects that I think I was good at, and just maybe taking like 3 classes or 4 classes because I didn't have that pressure to take 9, having to learn all 9 subjects. I hated math. I tried to skip math.
I still do.
So it was either add math or arts. I'll take arts. If it's, let's say, chemistry or French, I'll go for French.
I mean, even though bonjour.
You know, they
I'll
try.
mark my new friend.
Well, so I really appreciated doing less subjects than a lot. Because at the end of the day, it's what you're going to study in uni that you should be more focused on. There are other things you can also educate the child with, which comes to, let's say, career development. There's IT. You can start teaching them certain things. I don't know who would go use, how do you call it? Not pot making, but it was life skills or something.
I was going to say,
Yeah, but you see,
skills.
I feel like those are some of the underrated courses. So. Because right now that the economy is so difficult and your 9 to 5 just
Vocational
ain't
skills.
cutting it, people are looking at other things that they can do.
Yeah.
And then now, these courses are things that you're trying to dig back into your mind to say, hey, well, I remember that I did this in crafts. How can I monetize it right now? I think in addition to your point, I think what would be very useful is us incorporating, you know, like side hustle,
like entrepreneurship.
you know, from a very early stage. I think when I went to uni, it was a course that was put there. You could choose it. You know, I think it was
Did
possible.
they choose for you or you chose it? You know how they got
Yeah, I didn't choose it, but some people chose it. I don't know how it was. Now that I look back, I'm like, shit, that was a really good opportunity. I probably should have chosen that. And you know, you can't choose courses with a career in mind because I've changed my career 20 times since I started my life. First as an astronaut,
Is like,
another time as a lawyer, another time as a journalist, another time as a politician. I've had so many career choices. So I'm such an unreliable person to base a university course on. But I think what would be very good is to have a foundation that's pretty generic that gives you a bit of everything.
Yes.
So that when you
Once
find
you
yourself,
understand that.
and I also don't think you should rush into university. I think there's so much pressure.
Thank you.
Please say one more time. Where's the camera?
Don't
No, for
rush
real.
into university, and don't. It is not unfashionable to want to take like a year gap
year
or
it's something
2 or
Ghanaians need to
3
encourage
before you go to uni, because I mean we did have a year before we went to uni, but I had no freaking idea what I was using that year for.
Yeah.
But it is such a wonderful time in your life to figure out what you really want to do.
Mm.
So we need to be, and then we had our politicians come in and they've completely scrapped that 1 year. So right from high school straight to university, it's a freaking different world in university.
And we don't have all the
from high
infrastructure
school.
for it. It's different in the US. There you can actually just go right away.
Yeah.
Here, we don't have it yet.
Some people even get grades, extra grades for taking a gap year towards their.
So
Yeah.
it's an incentive.
Yeah.
There's a reason why
Yeah.
I'm encouraging it. Like you just leave high school straight to uni.
It doesn't work.
And
No
you are
resume
Akoko,
builds
you've gone
nothing.
into some wolf pack. And
It
you don't know
is.
what.
And and I'll share this. So I mean, I'm gonna tell you this. So when I was in high school, my second year, I actually wrote at Dntbeg, right?
Yeah.
I passed, good. But when I got to my final year, which was 2008, and I was writing the WASI, my school's paper got canceled, right? So I don't have a WASI result, but I actually have 2 Dntbeg results, right?
Hey,
I do.
no, you're proactive, sir.
Anyway, I had no choice. Like, the headmistress of our school, we go to the same church. It's my mom's friend, right? So I hadn't it was like, you had that child, you're going to do this. Which I actually appreciate. I actually wrote it a year before. Because honestly, I actually honestly, don't call I think I probably made 18 or 19. Like the system, A1, B2, that system. But when I actually got to the time I actually wrote mine in 2008, it was alright. I didn't really care. I didn't feel like going to school. But guess what? I went to, you know why? Because of the pressure. People are like, oh, you didn't pass. Oh, 1 year. It's like, I don't want to feel like I'm that kid who did not. I didn't have to. And I forced myself and I forced my parents and I got into school. Which I wish I never did that. Right? Because at the end of the day, when I actually left Ghana to the US, I had to start all over again.
Yeah.
So I'll add up to that. I didn't go to school immediately after senior high school.
Okay.
I've been home for 4 years.
Okay.
I didn't go to school immediately. But now my mates who have graduated, because it's 4 years, they look at me and they feel like I'm way better than them. But they didn't know that I didn't go to school.
Wow.
Because I focused on my music because that's what I wanted to do.
Look at
I
that.
went into that endeavor and it's looking good to the extent that they feel I'm better than them, even though they have gone to uni.
Interesting.
And I think there's a conversation people don't have, the honest conversation.
Yeah.
And honestly, I wanted to go. Mom and Dad, I told you I wanted to do vocational skills. I wanted to do something vocational because I'm very good with my hands. I don't want to do theory stuff. I remember like in JSS, I mean, now it's what SHS, I mean, whatever the hell that is.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't know. I chose.
What do you have against them?
I wanted to do home economics, right? And I looked at him like,
Yeah, what is that? Because someone came, I was dealing with like one of the people bring their rosaries, and then he was like, he went to do home econs in school, and I was like, okay, like I thought, I don't know whether he wanted me to go like, oh, okay, whatever. So I asked the workers when he left, I'm like, what is home econ? Like, am I supposed to be happy he did that? Like, I don't know.
you don't know. I mean, went to private school. I mean, come on.
I don't know whether it was supposed to mean that he made a cut for the position or something.
He's the right person for control.
Yeah, he is. And I think, like, Alex said earlier, like, there should be some general courses that you do that should be able to, like, take you anywhere. And home economics is actually one of them. Because I know most people who actually did that actually end up doing nursing and different things.
I
Okay.
did home econs.
You did?
But
See, I want to go to Laboni so bad, and Laboni and that computer system messed me up. Till this day, 2003. I don't forget because we were the computer babies. I still, no, but I think a few years ago, the new government or the current government actually started doing like this whole thing where, you can do vocational skills or I don't know what. It's just,
You see, okay, so I think another problem with the educational system is the perception bit. That if you don't go to uni and you end up in a polytechnic or you end up in a vocational school, it means that either one, you don't
You're
have
not
money
smart.
or you're not bright enough.
That's
Yeah.
what they don't
That
get.
perception needs to change because really a lot more people would need the training with their hands, if not all of us. And then you having the theory is another advantage. One thing my older brother told me before I went to uni was, you get to uni, don't take yourself too seriously. It's a place for you to harvest your mind so that when you leave school, you can learn things quicker. So fortunately for me, that was something that he told me that I tried to really like hold on to when I got to uni. So yes, grades are great, but the whole point of you being there is that your mind is going to open up. And 4 years after school, I'm now appreciating my sociology that people don't respect. I'm now beginning to appreciate it because I can hear certain conversations on TV and on radio, and I can understand the nuances. I can understand the cultural nuances. You know, like I can get it because when I went to school, I went in with that mindset. Your mind is a fertile ground, and I feel that if that mindset starts from when the child is young through the ranks, it's going to be very advantageous for us because this world is moving at a very fast pace. A lot of the things that we are studying we think is obsolete, but it's reinventing itself in so many interesting ways that if you're not skewed towards having an open mind, you may miss it. So I feel that yes, like that perception about vocational skills needs to change, and it needs to be part of what we're doing everywhere we go.
I mean, look at like these days, you see a lot of people have like these, vendors have like catering businesses, and most of them are actually guys.
Even content creators.
Yes.
It's
hands-on, like, and it's like, they don't encourage that, it's just like, but you want someone to make an outfit for you to wear, but you don't respect them because they are quote-unquote like a tailor or a seamstress.
But right now, can you say that you don't respect it?
You can't be paid.
I am still searching for someone to sew something for less than 100 cities. I can't.
100 cities?
Like right now, can you say that you don't respect it?
Because
I'll find you some.
Right now,
I'm so searching. Like the cheapest I've had so far is 300.
Is it Kente?
Wow.
No, just
Holland.
fabric.
It's true, she's right.
No, I know she's right.
Like I love African fabrics. Like I love to wear like whatever. I don't care the brand whether GTP or High Target. So far as that African print.
Yeah, that's what you need.
So I want to take like maybe 10 or 20 to the person to sew different ones. But if you're charging me 300,
you better be packing some 5K.
It's like all the people that study these vocational courses like carpentry,
yes,
cooking,
you need a bed to sleep on.
Sewing. It's like they are making the money now because they have the entrepreneurial skills already. So they just put it into something, they rebrand, and then now they are big.
Hey, I see people like killing with a crying truck and it's like packaged. So
Like,
I'm like, hey,
brand
kill with outside.
Coco King or something.
Yeah, and I'm like,
they are making the money now because the people who were to do these just book, no practice.
So even the sciences, like those who usually want to do what's called medicine, they'll write the exam to get. I don't know if it's changed now, but Legon, you guys all go do what's called biological science level 100. And I have to go and fight.
Buy another exam.
But my time when I was going to high school, everyone wanted to do science. I was a science student, but I was like, no, this is not what I want to do. I love to design.
Please forget it.
I already know.
I think it's probably the mentality where
and really
one year doctor and a
lawyer,
engineer.
Yeah.
Because I remember one time my friend in Canada, she's Nigerian. She was telling me that in Nigeria there are certain professions like certain courses in university. If you are going to study, they just look at you like that.
It's like you're disgraced to the family.
She's like, economics is the least you can even say you are studying. Yeah, they have like, if you realize there are a lot of lawyers in Nigeria. They
Ghana is becoming right now.
Yes, they do law.
They
need to throw their wigs away.
Hey,
it's like,
I want to be a lawyer, so hold on.
I wanted to be. I mean, I took the LSAT, but I'm like,
I'm skipping from the LSAT. I'm gonna try a different country. I don't.
You don't want to do it?
No, I don't want to do the LSAT.
It's actually they've actually decreased the score level, and it's much more flexible right now since COVID.
It's okay. It's okay. I'll take 1.5 years over 3 years. It's 3 years in North America and a year in UK or something.
Are you trying to be like a Kim Kardashian now, who just be like an apprentice? And
the
baby bar. They take the baby bar. In California, that's what we do in California. So if you want to do the baby bar.
No. I want to do law. So you rather do like a year in a different country than just come and transition instead of 3 years.
She wants to be a fast track lawyer.
Thank you.
Microwave lawyer. Microwave lawyer.
Just because I didn't want to do LSAT, no.
We are managing our time.
Thank you, So I wanted to point on the vocational part you said. I have this educational consultancy that I run. I do have people approach me as to them wanting to study in Canada or America, or pretty much like study abroad. And sometimes their budget doesn't really match the budget the
The requirements for them to get into it.
Yeah, they want to do university, but your budget is like a college.
A 2-year college.
Yes,
start, like
or
an
even a
associate.
1-year college.
Yeah, and just work your way through.
And they disrespect it so much, and I always tell them that listen, even if I was going to do nursing in Canada, I'm going to do nursing. I'd rather do 2 years nursing in a college, then finish and upgrade to a 2-year in a university. It's a long run, but the college will give me 2 years. They do a co-op thing.
Yeah,
so once you're in school, you're also working in the clinicals and stuff like that. So by the time you finish school, you have a 2-year experience. Then when you go into the university, you can still keep your internship with the hospital or whatever, and after university, that will sum up to 4 years experience.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Whereas the person who goes to university only gets that internship experience in 3rd year.
When they start doing the clinical.
So when you put your resumes down, you have 4-year experience, they have 1 year.
And
who would they pick?
Yeah, you have a point.
So in Canada, the colleges are like the vocational thing. They do help you in the long run, but unlike Ghana, they kind of like disrespect it. But then it's actually the technical thing that they're going to study. It's not everything theory. I know someone who did first class in tech, computer science, came to Ryzen. Ryzen gave him admissions, everything. When he got to Ryzen, they told him that whatever he learns in tech was a 2-year course in Canada.
Meanwhile,
so he has to do level 300, 400 before doing masters. Is he game?
What did he do?
He called home. They said sure. They were willing to pay, so he had to start from level 300, 400 before doing his masters.
But even with that,
first class in tech. They gave him something. I think they dismantled. They gave him a practical aspect to do as part of his interview for the master's program, and he couldn't do it because he only knows it as theory.
The book theory, yeah, we are very book wrong. I think.
No, I will say something for my country.
No,
I will blame my politicians.
When I say book wrong, right? It's like they teach us to just go and write. They teach us just go and write the exam.
Where are the resources? If they want to do practicals and you are 1,000 in a lecture hall.
Oh God,
that's one too.
How are they
going
to do it? How? It's the same way people come and criticize filmmakers in Ghana, and I tell people that don't go there, because if you saw what they need to contend with to bring you that thing that you call crap, you will understand that it's really not that simple. You understand how? It takes money to arrange all these things for people to come and do practicals. So we really have to look at a way to fund this educational system as a population, some way, somehow. Maybe these 4 coupons we're giving our politicians, maybe we can repurpose it and put it in some educational fund. Whatever it is that we instead of them stealing money that we don't know what they're using it for, because clearly they don't have a purpose, let's find a way to try and fund our educational system so it can provide us the things we need. The issue about individuals doing something is very valid, but at the end of the day, you can't take away the policy part of it, which is where you need the politicians to really
and the
set up
finance.
That's how the story.
So there needs to be a restructuring of our educational system that allows it to be somehow self-funded, independently funded, so that they can be very reactive to the needs of the country and also globally.
Yeah, and I think one initiative that actually happened years ago. I don't know who actually owns Meridian Pre-University. I don't know if you guys remember.
Yeah, it's still there.
It is.
Yeah,
it's actually a good initiative, right? But I don't think people have been lectured or trained enough to understand why that is very important, right? Because I know people actually went there and they actually transferred to Central. And I think they only go to the private schools, so the public schools will not take them. We have the same system in the US. That's the 2-year colleges in the US. So someone can leave high school, maybe to save money, they would go to like a junior college, or what we call a community college, and just do maybe 2 years. And once that you need 120 credit hours to get a 4-year bachelor's, right? So you can do 60 in the junior college. Then once you're done, you can just go and finish the other 60 and just go and continue and be done. And it works. I went to junior college. Like, even my cousins told me, if you go to junior college, it's 2 things. It's easy for you to stay there for longer, or you can go in, get it and get out. Because I know someone who actually went to junior college for like more than 5 years.
Our colleges is our college is different system from the States. The Canadian college is literally like, I don't want to say the level of university per se. It's not only going there to upgrade. You can get a 4-year bachelor's from our colleges though.
Yeah, in the US, so that's where sometimes people, so in the US you have universities and colleges, right? Which you can still get 4 years from.
Okay.
Because I went to one in Texas, like Texas State University. So it's a university, okay, boom. And they have schools that like, I can't remember the name, Mars College and stuff like that, right? But you still get awarded that 4-year, certification. I don't know if one of our Toya, did you go to like a junior college? You didn't go, okay. Straight to university, okay. Which is also an option, right? But most people actually go to the 2-year, maybe because they want to do nursing, right? They want to be like better, like maybe they are electives.
Okay.
So you can actually get into nursing school, right? Because in America, you can do anything you want to do. So far, you can pass your electives.
Yeah.
No one is holding you back.
I think they call them requirements.
Requirements, yes.
Okay.
But in this one, they are giving, in this Ghana that we live in, they are giving you what they want you to do.
Yeah, and even your timetable. My friends are surprised I had so many time off. Like your timetable is picked for you.
Yeah.
But that's
from Monday to Friday.
Who that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. There's definitely a lack of creativity. There's a lack of diversity on these educational boards where.
Please say one more time.
There's a lack of diversity in these educational boards because the people that they are counselors are people just like them.
Okay.
So you
the
don't
same
really,
mindset.
It's the same mindset.
Okay.
You don't really find, and they don't also go out there to mine some of these insights. Like I mentioned earlier, as far as I know, if there's been an update, then they've not done any publicity on it because I've
So do you know if there's an update? Because we don't know.
Because I know that the last educational review that informed SSC was done when President Rollins was in power. And since then, I don't know whether in President Kufuor's time or in President Prof's time and John Mohammed's time and now this current president, I can say that nothing has been done. We really haven't done anything, and the world has really
when you
moved
say
forward.
Anything, what do you mean?
Like it hasn't been revised.
It's
the same.
Okay.
Like
you mean the structure they have to teach in the senior high school?
In every single
even
aspect.
in the syllabus and stuff.
Okay.
It's the world is changing, right? We are still stuck in the.
Yeah, it's about time they start learning coding and other things.
Which coding? We don't even have schools where the children are sitting in
the computer lab is not even working.
Which computers are they going to use? On which internet and who's paying for the internet?
Under the tree.
No, not people. Yes.
Oh yes.
Yes, you don't listen to TV3 News, then.
I don't watch TV.
Please make it a point. Make it a point to watch.
Just
TV
my laptop,
news.
Netflix, and I'm cool. I don't watch.
Oh, you are living in a
bubble.
really interesting bubble.
You don't want to be bothered
If
about
you want to
anything
know things about Ghana, listen to TV3 News. They have these citizen journalists, which is very, very exciting, who bring to light some of these things that you will never hear and will be swept under the
Are they factual things?
They are factual.
Okay.
Yes.
I know citizenship is very.
Okay.
It's kind of like a hit and miss, but I like it when they actually come with factual things.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
that
there was
like
a story.
just mislead you.
There was a story about a village. I don't remember the name of the village, where there was a teacher who had been posted for national service to go and work in a rural area. I mean, the conditions this guy was teaching and the students were learning. Even yesterday, there was a news story on TV3 where a woman was explaining how by the time the students get to class 1, there are certain things that you'd expect the students to have been taught. And I'm talking about this in the rural areas. So you have parents who are now sort of joining forces with these teachers to kind of supplement, and it was on the subject of local languages.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'm saying that like there's so much that needs to be done now because the world is far advanced and we're still teaching and we're still learning like we're in the 1960s.
So
let me find somebody to exit first.
So if you, the students, are not exposed enough to fill in the gaps where you are lacking, then what happens to you? And that's the case of a lot of people in the rural areas. You can sit in Accra and live in a bubble, but even within Accra, the disparity is so wide.
The class.
It's so wide that it is really heartbreaking to imagine our world in the next 30 years if we're still going at this pace. And I hope that these shows really get their legs so that people know that look, right now people are asking questions and we really need to do better. My child is in a fairly good school. I look at the way he's learning and it's no different from the way I was studying 16 years ago. And it's a shame. It's a shame, especially when you've gone through COVID.
Okay.
it is not an excuse for a school like that to still teach that way, especially when you have kids his age on TikTok, on Instagram, being able to use their mother's phones. So you realize that right now the children have a certain brain capacity, and the stimulation from our educational system is not matching up. So very soon you have a lot of children who are unmotivated because the system doesn't challenge them.
And those that are lucky or privileged to go to
the well-to-do,
and whatever, they get the chance, just like the university.
And it keeps getting wider and wider.
Like
it becomes a competition once they get to college, and it's like like a certain group is like doing better than the other, or maybe like it's far behind because they can't get it together. But this has been great. I wish we could have actually done this into like a series, just for education, because it's a lot, you know. It's a lot, and I think this is just the first conversation, just a start. We'll keep going, but you're not off the hook yet. I have my shady corner game though. You guys ready for it? Hey, let's go. Let's go. Let's get this party started. Okay. I hope I choose. Y'all's face is like, oh Lord, what's about to happen?
It looks cute though.
Thank you.
Real nice.
Sure did.
Yes.
Okay.
So this shady book right here, it has all kinds of questions.
Do we pick or you pick?
I pick. So let's see.
Okay.
Oh boy. God damn! Yeah, I just always gotta do it like this.
Let me cover my face.
Yes. Have you ever Googled sex positions? See, that's we have no shame. It is it have you Googled? Google is there.
Google doesn't mean
Google. Okay, have you Googled our residents?
And Ian tossed me.
Yes. Have you Googled? Let's start. Who's gonna start from this one?
Wait, what?
Have you Googled?
Yeah.
So once you answer the question, you give a little backstory about.
What? Oh, wait, what?
You have to give backstory.
Yeah, just a little.
Yes, no.
I said, why you Google?
No, I mean, just
Because why not?
Okay. Someone told me about a wheelbarrow like years ago. And I'm like, what is a wheelbarrow?
What?
Pretty much it's like missionary.
Yeah.
Wheelbarrow.
Yeah, I was like, hey.
Wow. Okay.
Do you know? Listen, do you know the positions I know?
Wheelbarrow.
Shit. Be like this.
Is it like a Ghanaian made position? Or?
I mean, I think that's what I thought it was. But when I went to the Western one, so I was like, oh, that's missionary. I'm like, yeah, that's.
Oh, so that's.
But in Ghana, we got a wheelbarrow.
Yeah, that's what someone told me years ago.
When?
I check this out. I was in GSS.
Wait, so when did you go and Google it?
Yes, thank you.
Oh, so you know the internet cafe?
Internet, not on your phone.
Not my phone. Like back in the day, what was internet cafe? Like it was internet cafe. That's what you could only go to. But as I grew older, I mean, I'll actually explored more positions.
But the question I want to ask you is, wheelbarrow the young in it's there, but it's never wheelbarrow.
Because I mean, I say like wheelbarrow was like okay, so I actually googled it after someone told me it was missionary. But before that, I've actually googled different positions already.
Lord,
it's getting worse. I mean, listen, I went to a school where we actually grew faster than like the average.
Okay.
Yes.
So.
And I went to a boarding school. Like I stayed in boarding school for like almost 10 years.
Yeah.
So I mean, at that point, yeah. But that's an adult. I've actually,
Not only have we Googled, but we have implemented.
I mean, the recent one I did was like about a week ago.
Okay.
Next question.
Oh, you guys want more?
No.
Oh,
really? Oh, I thought it was
okay.
just
You
one.
want more? Okay, we can do 2 more. Okay, let's see. Oh boy, these ladies are gonna kill me.
Okay. Facial expression.
He's guilty. That's what he's.
Have you ever gone to your partner's phone?
Oh no.
Oh, my ex, I did. For my ex, not
Never have.
recent.
Never
My ex,
have.
yeah.
I have.
Actually, the whole.
Even the ones I was not even dating, we were just talking. I went to the phones. I'm nosy. If I feel that something is not right.
Is the past one okay or okay?
The past one,
No.
yeah, you have.
Present. Have I ever?
Present or past, whichever
Okay,
one.
past, yes, but present, no.
Yeah, so you've done it before.
Disclaimer. Now we are not doing that.
No, I have. I mean, even the people I was just talking to, because I know when you're not really dating someone, you're not official with someone, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can actually talk to multiple people. Me, I don't like to share. It's a one-on-one date.
And the boy proposed and lock it down.
Exactly. I'm not there yet.
Honestly,
I really think it's a headache.
I mean, for me, there's stress.
Yeah.
I don't
Honestly,
want to
I
know.
Oh.
Why would you go or hurts you? Why would I want to see it?
For me, it really didn't help me. I think it gave me high blood
Okay, we need you on
pressure.
this one.
So-
we have our resident, what's the word? Okay, we need you on this one. Comments.
For me,
Resident guest who always has some insight. Okay.
And situationships also.
Hold on, he's only dated someone for 7 years, but was not in a relationship.
What?
what?
We should talk about that.
Yes, that should be a
Like, we
next
really should
episode.
talk about, because I don't know if you guys have that. Bro, please don't let me digress. There's a new trend there. They're like dating in 2022, and then it's like there's a talking stage, and then there's a liking stage, there's a catching feels stage, and then there's a situationship because you guys do, and then there's a breakup, but you guys were never together.
Yeah.
Confusing
That's
us.
so confusing.
For me, people are just scared of
Commitment.
Commitment.
I know commitments, no. I'm saying, like, it
For
feels
me,
like
I
right now
wouldn't
there are guys
advise
that-
anyone to
be
do
played.
it.
Being played. Can we add one more question though?
Yes,
Do you have
yes,
time?
yes,
Okay.
No, but we should talk about this. We really should talk about
We'll do a total space for him.
Yes.
Who wrote these questions? Okay. It says, have you ever drunk out your ex?
What? No.
Have you?
No.
I have.
That is such a sloppy excuse, but I use it all the time.
Wait, what was the question?
Have you ever drunk out your ex? Wow, you are drunk and you're going to dial your ex's number.
Please, no.
Please, my
Like,
emergency
why
call.
I have.
No. No.
And never make me have to fake their drinking.
Why is the number even still on the phone in the first place?
Sometimes when you break up with someone, okay, it's just okay. If you guys wasn't like on good terms, why not? You can still keep the number.
No.
Am I
One and done.
No.
No, I mean it's fine. I mean, I guess some people just want to be. Once they are done, it's like that's it.
Maybe if I eventually get a well-deserved ex to be still on my phone, then yeah.
Well-deserving ex.
Don't still be on my phone.
Never keep
And on that note, this has been a well-deserved episode of the Saturday Shade because I need to be well-deserved because I've been Googling sex positions. I've been going to people's phones. And at this point, I've butt down, knowingly and unknowingly, my ex. But God knows my heart, so that's all that matters. Thank you, ladies, for joining us. It's been fun having you, ladies.
Thank you.
Listeners and viewers at home, don't forget to join the conversation. SS Kabutey, I can't get my shit right. SS on Twitter, SS with Kabutey on Twitter. Saturday Shit on IG, Saturday Shit on TikTok, aka TikTok. And don't forget, it's always about the fun. Body no be firewood or more. Hey, why?